Some smart TV brands look like a great deal up front, but fail just a year or two after purchase. In this video, we're exposing the brands you should never buy in 2025 and why they break. And at the end, I'll share 3 buyer tips to help you shop smarter and protect your money. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, we have JVC and Pioneer. Many people buy these brands because the names feel familiar. They were once respected in home audio and video, so shoppers assume the same engineering still applies today. The prices are also appealing. You can get a big screen without spending much, which feels like a safe upgrade for a spare room or casual use. People trust the logo and hope it will deliver solid performance without complications. The reality is different. These brands are now licensed names. The companies that built their reputation no longer make the TVs. The badge is placed on low-tier hardware produced by third-party manufacturers with little focus on long-term reliability. The internal components are basic, and the panels lack strong contrast and durable build quality. These models are often recommended only for occasional viewing because they struggle with daily use, especially in living rooms where people expect consistency and smooth, smart features. What's even worse is that people discover the truth only after setup. One viewer reported that the TV looked fine on the shelf but immediately showed poor color, weak brightness, and slow app loading at home. Within the first year, the picture quality dropped even further, and customer service could not offer meaningful support. The user eventually replaced the unit rather than repairing it, paying for a trusted brand name but receiving a product that has no connection to that legacy. It turns what feels like a safe purchase into unnecessary trial and error. And if you think brand names are the problem, the next brand takes that disappointment a step further by hiding low quality behind a familiar store shelf. Moving on to number 9, RCA. People buy RCA for similar reasons as JVC and Pioneer. The brand has been around for decades and carries a sense of history. It feels safe, especially for older viewers who grew up seeing RCA equipment in homes. The low price makes it attractive for bedrooms, kitchen screens, or a budget upgrade for basic streaming. The assumption is that a classic brand must at least deliver average performance. But RCA is no longer an engineering-focused company. The name is licensed. The products are produced by outside manufacturers who focus on cutting costs, not improving quality control. Many RCA sets ship with outdated panels that struggle with brightness, color consistency, and HDR content. On paper, the specs look modern. In practice, the picture looks flat and lacks the vivid detail people expect from a 4K television. Real user experiences highlight the same theme. The TV works out of the box, but the picture quality never truly satisfies. Even casual viewers notice dull colors and weak contrast. Over time, software updates slow down, and parts become difficult to service. The TV becomes something people tolerate instead of enjoy, particularly when used as a main screen. The larger issue is trust. People think they are getting reasonable performance at a fair price, but instead, they get outdated hardware that becomes obsolete quickly. The cost of replacement ends up being higher than buying a reliable model from the start. Before we move on, let me know in the comments. Have you had a better experience with RCA than the issues we have covered so far? And if outdated panels are frustrating, the next brand adds another problem. The smart features slow down too, even when the panel is decent. At number 8, we have Philips. Many shoppers choose this brand because it still carries a sense of European quality. The interface on several models is quick. The setup is simple. In the store, the picture can look decent under bright lighting. For buyers who want something straightforward and familiar, Philips appears to offer a balanced package. It seems like a reasonable choice for a living room or family space without the high cost of a premium model. But once the TV is in the home, the limitations become clear. Philips often relies on panels with a restricted color range and weaker viewing angles. The picture looks acceptable from the center, but shifts in brightness and color appear as soon as you move slightly to the side. Contrast is also limited. Dark scenes lose detail. HDR content lacks the brightness needed to make it engaging. When compared to similarly priced QLED or Mini LED options, the differences are significant. A fast menu cannot compensate for a panel that performs below expectations. A real user described the experience in simple terms. The smart features worked well. Apps loaded without delay, but the picture never looked right. The user noticed that colors washed out when the family sat at different angles. Movie nights felt inconsistent because darker scenes appeared flat. The viewer expected more from the brand and found the limitations hard to ignore. A quick interface is only one part of the experience. Picture quality still determines whether a TV remains satisfying over time. When that foundation is weak, everything else feels compromised. Now, if you think limited color and weak viewing angles are a compromise, the next brand adds slow operating systems and intrusive ads into the equation, which makes the experience even more frustrating. Coming in at number 7 is Toshiba's budget Fire TV line. People buy these models because they combine two familiar names. Toshiba still carries some brand recognition, and many viewers already use Amazon services. The built-in Fire TV platform feels convenient, especially for people who do not want to buy a separate streaming device. The price usually sits below mid-range competitors, so it feels like a sensible deal for everyday streaming. But long-term performance is where this brand draws the line. They often rely on lower quality panels and processors. Picture quality can look decent at first, but the software becomes the main frustration. Users report frequent Wi-Fi dropouts and apps freezing or closing without warning. The system may require repeated restarts to restore basic functionality. Over time, these issues become a pattern rather than an isolated glitch. The TV turns into something you constantly troubleshoot instead of simply watching. One longtime Fire TV user shared that their Toshiba model worked smoothly at first, but after several months, the Wi-Fi began disconnecting every few hours. Apps stopped loading, and streaming would freeze mid-show. When they contacted support, they were repeatedly instructed to restart the system, reinstall apps, and update software. Each fix worked briefly, then the issue returned. Eventually, they bought a separate streaming stick just to avoid using the built-in system. Another owner noted that while the picture quality was acceptable, even basic menu navigation slowed down after routine updates, making simple tasks like switching between apps take longer than expected. The delays discouraged daily use, and the TV became a secondary screen instead of the main household display. The frustration here is paying for convenience and ending up managing problems that should not exist in daily use. A television should not need constant resets to stay connected. It should be stable and predictable. If you think connectivity issues are inconvenient, wait until you see the next brand. The customer support process itself becomes a burden when something goes wrong, even during the warranty period. And if you're finding these breakdowns useful, don't forget to subscribe. At number 6, we have Element. People buy Element for one reason. The prices are among the lowest in retail stores. When someone needs a basic screen for a bedroom, rental unit, or occasional use, Element appears to offer great value. The specifications look standard enough, and buyers assume that even an inexpensive TV should last at least a few years with normal viewing. But the concern extends not only to the hardware quality, but also to how the company handles support when problems arise. Component failures are common in budget models, but Element is known for making the warranty process difficult. Many users describe long exchanges with support agents requesting repeated troubleshooting steps even after the issue is clearly identified. Replacement parts can also be hard to access, and repairs are often delayed until customers simply give up. This creates a silent cost because the television may fail early, yet the path to resolution is so tedious that people move on. A previous Element owner explained that their TV stopped powering on a little over a year after purchase. When they reached out for support, they were transferred between several representatives, each asking them to repeat basic steps such as unplugging the TV, holding the power buttons, and resetting internal settings. After multiple calls and messages, no repair or replacement was scheduled. The owner eventually abandoned the claim and purchased a different brand. Honestly, the low price should not come with the expectation that you will spend your time negotiating support. When a product fails, resolving the issue should be straightforward. As simple as that. And if Element feels frustrating due to the support barrier, this next brand introduces a different concern. The hardware may work, but the performance itself can be limited from day one, especially when watching sports or fast motion content. But before then, have you had a smoother experience with Element than what most owners report? I would be curious to hear if your unit held up better. Moving on to number 5, we have Sceptre. Buyers choose this brand for one main reason: size. Sceptre often offers the biggest screen at the lowest cost. When shoppers compare prices, the value looks impressive. A large display for a small amount of money. For many households, that is enough. The goal is a big picture, not advanced features or high-end technology, but the first sign of trouble appears right out of the box. Sceptre has one of the most lenient pixel defect policies of any mainstream brand. Their warranty allows multiple dead or bright pixels, even clusters. The company considers these imperfections normal. This means you can unbox a TV, see visible flaws, and be told that it meets the expected standard. And it reflects where Sceptre sources its panels. The lowest tier available. Cheaper panels increase the chance of defects and reduce long-term reliability. A real user experienced this firsthand. They opened the TV, turned it on, and saw several bright dots scattered across the screen. During darker scenes, the defects became distracting. Support reviewed the photos and confirmed that the number of faulty pixels was within an acceptable range. No replacement was offered. The customer felt stuck with a screen that already looked used. A new TV should look clean, clear, and ready for everyday viewing. You should not have to accept flaws before the first show even begins. When the panel quality is compromised from day one, the entire purchase starts on the wrong foot. And if you think pixel flaws are inconvenient, the next brand adds another challenge. The picture quality may be acceptable, but the motion handling and brightness fall behind competitors offering better technology at similar prices. As we continue the countdown, remember that once we reach the top of the list, I will share 3 simple buyer tips that can help you avoid these issues entirely. Coming strong at number 4, we have Vizio D and V series. Vizio has built a strong reputation over the years as a budget-friendly brand that offers better performance than expected. Many buyers still assume that all Vizio models deliver that same value. The D and V series often look appealing because of the price, the clean design, and the belief that Vizio prioritizes picture quality. Customers who want a simple, affordable TV for streaming or casual watching frequently choose these models without much hesitation. The challenge is that the lower-tier Vizio sets use older technology that no longer competes well in 2025. These models rely on edge-lit backlighting, which limits contrast and reduces the effectiveness of HDR playback. Dark scenes lose detail, and bright scenes lack the intensity found in more modern displays. The SmartCast system introduces its own set of problems. It loads slowly, freezes during heavy use, and displays frequent advertisements. Many users eventually add an external streaming device just to avoid the built-in interface, which undermines part of the reason for buying a smart TV in the first place. A real user example describes this well. One viewer said the picture was acceptable for basic content, but the SmartCast interface became frustrating within days. Apps opened slowly, menus lagged, and ads appeared regularly. After a few months of use, the TV struggled to maintain stable performance, and the owner decided to rely completely on an external streaming stick. Buying the cheaper Vizio models feels economical at first, but quickly leads to compromises that affect your daily experience. The savings disappear once you add external devices just to make the system usable, and this leads naturally into the next brand, which creates a different problem altogether. With that one, the issue is not legacy or nostalgia, it's inconsistency from unit to unit, which makes it difficult to know what you will actually get once the box is opened. Number 3 is Westinghouse. Many buyers choose this brand because it offers large screen sizes at low prices. For someone who wants a big display for sports or movies without spending a lot, Westinghouse looks appealing. The brand is available in major discount retailers, which creates a sense of legitimacy. People assume that if a store carries it, the performance must be acceptable. The price often convinces buyers to take the chance. The problem is that Westinghouse struggles with quality control. The performance varies widely between units. One TV may look acceptable, while another from the same shelf can show entirely different results. Color accuracy differs, brightness levels shift, motion handling changes. The main processor inside the TV is also weak, which affects upscaling. Standard cable channels and older content often look blurry, grainy, or soft. The hardware is simply not strong enough to clean up lower resolution material. Even simple scenes can appear inconsistent. A user shared that streaming content looked passable, but anything of lower quality appeared washed out and lacking detail. The viewer noticed that their phone produced a clearer picture than the television during the same scene. The inconsistency made everyday use frustrating because the picture quality shifted so easily. It is disappointing when a TV feels unpredictable. A buyer should not have to adjust expectations every time they change channels or switch apps. Reliability is not only about avoiding breakdowns, it is also about having a consistent viewing experience. And as we move to the next brand, the challenge shifts again. This time, the issue is not inconsistency across units. Instead, the hardware itself is pushed to the lowest possible price, which affects the entire experience from the moment you turn it on. Before that, have you seen better results with Westinghouse than most reports suggest? At number 2, we have ON. Many shoppers buy this brand because it offers the lowest prices in major retail stores. When the budget is tight, ON becomes the default option. The packaging looks clean, the features seem modern, and for someone who needs a simple TV quickly, the cost is hard to ignore. Many buyers assume that if they only watch basic content, the limitations will not matter. The challenges begin with construction. ON televisions use thin, lightweight plastic that does not provide adequate durability or heat management. Internal components face more stress, and overheating becomes a real concern. The processors and panels are also low grade. As a result, the built-in smart system often runs slowly. Apps lag, menus freeze, navigation requires patience. Many owners end up buying an external streaming device to improve performance, which cancels the initial savings. A user shared that the television felt flimsy right out of the box. The interface took several seconds to respond to simple commands. Streaming apps crashed during basic use. Over time, the TV became slower, especially after updates. Eventually, the user relied entirely on an external device and used the television only as a basic display. It is tiring when a product feels like a temporary fix instead of a long-term purchase. The low price draws you in, but the compromises show up quickly, and the cycle repeats when the hardware fails sooner than expected. Now, the next model comes from a retailer known for reliability, which makes the situation even more disappointing. Taking the number 1 spot is Insignia. Many buyers choose this brand because it is backed by a trusted retail store. The televisions are easy to find, the prices are low, and the specifications look competitive. For shoppers who want something simple for a bedroom or office, Insignia seems like a straightforward and harmless purchase. The belief is that a store brand should at least offer basic reliability. The reality is that Insignia relies on very low-grade components to keep costs down. The panels often suffer from poor brightness and weak color accuracy. The internal hardware struggles with sound output and power stability. Users report sound cutting out, audio distortion, and even sudden shutdowns. These issues appear early, often just outside the standard 1-year warranty. Repair options are limited because parts are difficult to source, and out-of-warranty service can cost more than replacing the television. One user said the TV worked well for the first year, then developed sound problems that became frequent. Customer service offered minimal assistance. Replacement parts were also unavailable. The television eventually failed entirely, forcing the customer to dispose of it and purchase another brand. The experience left the buyer feeling misled by the initial impression of value. A purchase should not become a recurring expense. When a television fails shortly after the warranty ends, the cost of ownership rises quickly, and that is where many Insignia buyers find themselves. Frequent failures, poor support, and limited repair paths create a cycle that turns an affordable purchase into an avoidable expense. If you have ever owned an Insignia model, you may already know how quickly the frustrations add up. And this brings us into the final section of the video, where the 3 buyer tips will help you avoid these pitfalls and make a smarter purchase moving forward. Buyer tip 1. Confirm the native refresh rate. Many TVs advertise impressive motion numbers that are not real hardware specifications. Look for the actual native refresh rate, not marketing terms like motion rate, true motion, or natural motion. A true 120 Hz panel improves motion clarity, reduces blur in sports, and prepares your TV for modern gaming devices. It also helps with future compatibility as streaming platforms continue increasing frame rates. Avoid sets that only offer 60 Hz, but present it as something more. The difference becomes obvious when watching fast movement or switching between high-quality sources. This matters because the panel is the foundation of picture quality. Once you buy the TV, you cannot upgrade it. A stronger panel ensures longer satisfaction. Buyer tip 2. Use free warranty extensions instead of retail plans. Extended warranties sold in stores often add significant cost without offering much additional protection. Instead, use a credit card that automatically extends the manufacturer's warranty by 1 extra year at no added fee. Most cards from major providers include this benefit. This covers the period when many budget televisions experience their first failures. Also, buy from a retailer with a generous return window. Early failures are common, and flexible return policies protect you from immediate problems. Avoid paying extra for plans that may equal a large percentage of the television's price. This matters because repairs for low-cost models can be expensive or impractical. Using free warranty extensions means you protect your purchase without adding unnecessary expense. Buyer tip 3. Disable data tracking and use a guest network. Most smart TVs track viewing habits through built-in data collection features. Disable these settings during setup. They may appear under names like Viewing Services, Smart Experience, or Live Plus. The menus may place them deep inside privacy sections, so take a moment to find them. Then place the television on a guest or secondary network rather than your main home network. This limits how much access the TV has to other devices in your home. Avoid connecting it to the same network used for banking or personal information. This matters because inexpensive smart TVs often rely on aggressive data collection and may not receive long-term security updates. A separate network keeps your household information safer. You now know the brands that cause the most frustration and the simple steps that help you avoid costly mistakes. If you want the other side of the picture, watch our video on the 8 best TVs to buy in 2025. It highlights the models that stay reliable and offer the strongest long-term value.